Good day, my friend. How have you been? How are you doing? Thank you for joining me on today's episode of Daily Mind Shift. My name is Michael Ujola for Mindset Transformation Africa, and on today's episode of Daily Mind Shift, I want us to look inwards. I want us to take a bit of time to look inwards, to ask our soul some questions about where are we really going? Are we really on track? All right. Are you following your life path? Are you sure about what you were doing? And if not, what are you doing about finding out about what you're doing if it is really what you want to be doing with your life, or what society, parent influence, peer pressure, environment has tailored for you to do? Don't be seduced away by don't be seduced away rather from your intuitive soul by what may look good today. Do not be seduced away from your intuitive soul by what may look good. I strongly believe that there are things, there are times in your life that you're just so sure. You are very, very sure. You're just so sure that you know what you want to do with your life. Maybe when you were 15, maybe when you were 10, maybe when you were 20, 25, maybe when you were even as far back as when you were 5, 6, or 8, that you just know, you know that you don't know how you will do what you want to do, but you know something in your heart is telling you that this is what you need to be doing with your life. That is what I want us to go back to. Your intuitive soul. Your intuitive soul. Within you, I believe so strongly that within every one of us is that nudging, that intuition that says, this is what you need to do. This is what you ought to be doing. You are doing this right now because your friends said it will make you money. You are doing this right now because, there are bills that you will have to pay. This is it. The responsibility that we have on our lives, the responsibility that we'll have in our lives, they are there. But if you don't forget your intuitive soul's nudging, there is hope. I'm not saying you should relegate and be irresponsible. I'm not saying you should just neglect to do what you need to do to survive when you are in that mode of survival. I'm not saying you should not stop doing what you do or stop doing what you're doing right now. No, that's not it. This is just a reminder. When you know that you are not home, you will always remind yourself that one day I will go back home. But imagine that you've forgotten that this is not your home, that what you're doing is not what you ought to be doing. If you've forgotten totally, you will lack peace. And you won't even know why you are not at peace. Because one of the ways that you can be very sure that what you are doing is what you ought to be doing is peace. I'm not saying that you will always feel good. No, that's not peace. That's just happiness that happens when some things are working well. Peace is the assurance in your soul that you are on the right track. I cannot explain it. Maybe that's why the Bible says it is the peace that passes all understanding. I can't even explain that type of peace. But within you, in your core self, you just know that this is the thing that you need to be doing. That doesn't mean that you should stop your side hustles. That doesn't mean you should quit your job. Yes, to some people, they need to quit and start over. All right? But that doesn't mean you should just live a planless life that, now I discuss. No. You need to reflect. I just want to remind you. This episode is more of a meditative reminder than an instruction. Okay? Don't be seduced away from your intuitive soul by what may look good. Some of us are just doing what we are doing because it looks good. It looks good to be called a banker, you see. It looks good to be called a doctor. It looks good to be called a lawyer. It looks good to be called a professor, a doctor. That is why some people are doing what they're doing. Not because they find peace in it. Not because it makes their life meaningful. Not because they find fulfillment therein. No. Yes, it pays. It pays the bills. But after all the bills have been paid, are you at peace? Are you joyful? Are you really happy? Are you really happy? Go inward. Go back to your childhood where there is no responsibility, where nothing matters other than what you want to do with your life. Are you doing what you really want to do, or what you are pressured by life, society, environment, parents, siblings, peers to do? That is it on Daily Mind Shift today. Thank you for listening to me. We will talk later. Bye.